Welcome into UEFL Studio 3, the studio named for Hall of Famer Al Barlick, who was responsible for mentoring the likes of Bruce Dreckman, Joe West, to name a few. Bill Clem actually endorsed Barlick when he was brought on, and Brian Gorman's father, Tom Gorman, called him the best I ever saw.
We're going to take a look at the draft calendar now, which we do have some important upcoming events.
The 2012 UEFL Draft will begin on March 10th with the opening of our crew and primary rounds. The primary round will close on March 16th, while the crew round will remain open until April 1st or until crew listings become available, whichever occurs last. We want to give you a good opportunity to get your crew views in before selecting that crew chief.
That's right. Following the primary round will be the secondary round, opening March 17th and closing March 30th. During this time, members may submit their secondary umpire selections via email or post comment wish lists on the UEFL website. These wish lists are necessary because the UEFL will introduce the first ever live secondary draft, which will occur on April 1st. If you are interested in participating in the live draft, you must RSVP by sending an email to one of your UEFL commissioners. Don't worry if you can't attend, as we will incorporate your wish list as your slot comes up during the live draft, and we will automatically assign you secondary umpires based on your wish list.
As voted on at the end of 2011, the UEFL Appeals Board will make its debut this season, with the nominations process closing on March 23rd and voting taking place from the 24th through March 30th. If you are interested in running for the Appeals Board, send an email to one of your UEFL commissioners.
After all rounds have closed and the live secondary draft has been completed on April 1st, UEFL rosters and draft results will be published on the UEFL portal, and after a one-day adjustment period, the season shall begin.
But before we begin the draft, we're going to talk about the newest way to earn points in the Umpire Ejection Fantasy League, our prop bets.
This is an exciting new way to earn points for correctly forecasting various events that could occur during the season. Now let's go to the UEFL prop board and see what these events are.
7 exciting props to start 2012, starting with regular season ejection number 1. Give me the correct date or closest to the correct date and you get 2 points. Next is the name of the umpire. Give me the ejector and you can get up to 5 points. You have 5 chances to get that name right. If you give me 5 names, you get 1 point if you're right. If you give me 1 name, you get 5 points if you're right. Sort of a risky move there.
Indeed. Our third prop is when will the first non-plate umpire ejection occur? Give us that date. The fourth, a little fun here, we all love Ozzy. When will his first ejection occur in 2012? Our fifth, the first fighting ejection in 2012. And our sixth, how many ejections will happen going into the All-Star break?
Finally, the most ejected team throughout 2012. This is at the end of the regular season. Give me that team, and the sliding scale is the same as prop bet number 2. Stay tuned for more prop bets in 2012. Now, in order to help you out when you're coming up with these prop bets as well as your draft picks, we're going to take a quick look at some of the baseball umpiring news and statistics from 2011 and earlier.
We will start off with the news of Bill Hahn's retirement.
Major League Baseball bid a farewell to Bill Hahn, who was on the disabled list last year. Let's take a quick look at Bill Hahn's statistics over his career and his standings in the Umpire Ejection Fantasy League.
Bill Hahn made his Major League debut in 1987, umpired his final game in 2010. He led the league in ejections in 2008 and 2009, and was the recipient of the Worst Umpire of the Year award in 2009. He came back the next year to win the Most Improved Umpire award. He was on the Umpires Disabled list in his final season in 2011.
But while the baseball world bids a fond farewell to Bill Hahn, we also say hello to Todd Tichenor, hired to the full-time staff this past year.
Todd Tichenor made his MLB debut in 2007 and was promoted to the full-time staff in January. He finished just behind Bill Hahn in 2009 with 7 ejections, a mark he shared with Bach and Bob Davidson.
Early this spring training, we were also graced with the return of Jim Joyce. Jim Joyce's 2011 season had been cut short with a leg injury. He had won the UEFL Umpire of the Year award in 2009, followed by the Honorable Umpire Award after his imperfect game in 2010.
Let's go to his statistics for the 2011 season.
Jim Joyce, number 66, 4 ejections, 16 points for the UEFL in 2011. A bit of a rarity for Jim Joyce, as you see by his ejection history. The most ejections he had in the season was 3 in 2009, none in 2010. He doesn't eject much.
No, he doesn't. But look at the dates on those ejections. 3 of those occurred on April 10th due to a throwing at incident.
But while 2011 might have been uncharacteristic for Jim, it was a very characteristic and a very productive year for owners of Cowboy Joe West.
Joe West, the veteran crew chief wearing number 22, had 7 ejections and 15 points last season.
He had 9 in 2010 and 10 ejections in 2006, and as you see, his 2011 ejection list was none too light. He ejected Charlie Manuel, Davey Johnson, Tim Leland, Joe Madden, Brad Mills, and Ron Gardenhire. His only pitcher, Justin Verlander, AL Cy Young Award winner. But while 2011 was productive for Joe, it was even more so for Bob Davidson. Bob Davidson and Hunter Wendelstedt on Jerry Lane's crew, and Bob Davidson especially, had a great year for ejections.
Davidson, the veteran, wearing number 6, had 8 ejections last year, good for second in all the league. Also, he had 14 points.
Joining Bob with 8 ejections was crewmate Hunter Wendelstedt, and crew chief Jerry Lane got in on the action with 4 ejections of his own.
Davidson had some memorable ejections, including Mike Quaddy and his memorable altercation with Kirk Gibson.
But the Davidsons and the Wendelstedts of the league could not compare to newcomer Rob Drake, who claimed the top spot with 9 ejections in 2011.
Drake, wearing number 30, led the league with 9 ejections, and led the league in points with 30.
A clean sweep for Rob Drake. As you can see his ejection history, it's a bit of a breakout performance for Rob. Let's hope he continues the streak in 2012. For those of you keeping score, just like Davidson, Kirk Gibson was a Drake victim in 2011.
And Yadier Molina, remember that incident when he spat in Drake's face? That was intense.
From AAA bonus points to accuracy rates and beyond, this is a reminder that the UEFL portal at portal.closecallsports.com is a great resource for the 2012 season. It gives you a great history, and we encourage you to check that out. That said, thank you for tuning in, and we wish you luck during the 2012 UEFL season.